different aspects.
Action News, AccuWeather Alert.
Hello, I'm Mark Howard. High wind is the problem, and here's a picture of a place that you want to go to avoid on the way home. This is Lincoln Drive. High winds have knocked down a tree here at Morris Street. The tree took down some power lines. The drive is shut between Wissahickon and Wayne Avenues. PECO says, however, only minor power outages. Now, let's punch up a live picture on the Schuylkill Expressway. This is at Spring Garden. On the left is traffic leaving Center City. It is moving at barely a crawl, and it's not yet 4 o'clock. It could be a long, tough rush hour. Let's go outside to Cecily Tynan right now, get the very latest from AccuWeather. Cecily?
Well, Mark, AccuWeather says the storm system will be intensifying throughout the afternoon, and we're not going to see the snow taper off until after midnight. Action radar showing the storm system. It's all snow across the Delaware Valley. This system is hugging the coast. It's going to be pulling away ever so slowly, but throughout the afternoon and the evening hours, the winds will be picking up and the snow will be picking up as well. Right now, this is the conditions in Philadelphia. Blowing snow, 33 degrees with wind gusts at 31 miles an hour. Visibility a half mile right now. Wind chill 6 degrees. And we expect 3 to 6 inches of snow. Actually, we have updated numbers now. 3 to 6 inches of snow across grassy surfaces. 1 to 2 inches will be accumulating on the roadways. Also, a high wind advisory is in effect. Wind gusts could be topping off at 50 miles per hour later on this afternoon. And the storm system will not be winding down again until after midnight. Mark?
Okay, Cecily, and of course the morning rush hour could be a mess. We'll talk about that when we come back with the very latest coming up on Action News beginning at 5 o'clock.
Pretty snows in the west too. In fact, some reports of or expectations of maybe 1.5 feet to 2 feet in some parts of New England up the road from Boston. Then the mild air comes back. We go to slush to a meltdown in the northeast corridor as we go to Thursday, so that looks more like April. But the west then is kind of chilly as we go into the up-and-coming weekend. Windy and still chilly for a while in the northeast. Then the moisture comes up. Houston, Dallas, you get rain, possibly strong thunderstorms as we move on into Thursday and Friday. Then another weather system comes up out of the Gulf of Mexico. Your local weather is coming up.
Rush hour's over, and for those of you still at home, it's a great day to be out on the go.
Don't you miss using all the skills and experience you've acquired over the years? We thought so. Call 1-800-YES-KELLY to put them back to work. Kelly Services, your employment source.
Ma, you know how precious sleep is. A store brand? Ma, get Unisom. It's not habit forming. It's your sleep, Ma. Unisom's worth it. So are you.
Declare war against mildew. New professional strength.
It moves and changes. There's something happening somewhere, and we bring you all of it in WeatherScope, the day's top weather stories, with live on-the-scene reports during major breaking events, up-to-the-minute forecast for the nation and specific regions, and fascinating insight that lets you understand exactly what's happening and why. WeatherScope, it's all the weather you want, every 30 minutes on the hour and half hour on the Weather Channel.
A major winter-like storm is hitting the Northeast with blizzard conditions possible. I'm Rick Griffin. Stay with the Weather Channel for live reports from the area.
This is a special edition of WeatherScope.
Good afternoon from the Weather Channel Forecast Center, and again it appears that we're setting up for a very interesting night tonight with very high winds, heavy wet snow, probably producing numerous power outages across New England. And we've already had some heavy snow farther north and west of the actual storm center. Now along the coast of Massachusetts, you're looking at video of pounding surf. This is at Winthrop. And you can see the rolling surf. This is just the beginning stages as far as the sea is concerned. The storm centered off the coast of New Jersey. It'll continue to move slowly east tonight. It'll head south of Long Island. As it's doing that, it will continue to produce these building seas, seas in excess of 15 feet perhaps. And we do have numerous marine advisories in effect, which we'll be showing you in just a moment. There's your satellite view, and you can see that typical comma-shaped pattern to the clouds, the center of low pressure off the coast of New Jersey, and it continues to intensify at this hour as it moves east-northeast. In some ways, it's being compared to the storm back in April of 1982 on the 6th and the 7th. At that time, we had an area of low pressure similar to this in the overall setup. However, this one's a bit farther south, and it's expected to track a little bit more in an easterly direction instead of the northeasterly track that the April 6-7 storm of 1982 took. However, a reminder, folks in the area, remember that one. It did produce over 2 feet of snow in parts of southern New Hampshire. And you can see on the satellite view, those clouds wrap all the way back into eastern Ohio. This is the type of storm that, despite the fact that the precipitation, rain and snow, will come to an end, we do expect some strong winds to continue with this storm system as it works its way slowly east-northeast. Now there's the moderate to heavy snow which continues to fall at this hour. We've had reports occasionally of some thunder snow, most recently around Hartford, Connecticut, reports of thunder and heavy snow, an indication of some of the instability in the air that's getting pulled northward from the Atlantic, running over the top of the warm front and heading back towards the upstate in New York. And we've also had reports of significant snow totals so far from the storm, but it's been an interesting storm for the folks in northern Vermont. Some places in the northeast and north central Vermont only getting some light rain changing over to snow in some of the valley floors. Typical spring type situation initially, where we'll have some snow heavy at times up in the hills, but rain down below. Now out in western Massachusetts, in the town of Worthington, as of 3:10 this afternoon, reports of 7 inches of snow, and it was coming down at the rate of 2 inches an hour. Over in Greene County in New York, around Albany, we've had reports of 14 inches of snow at Windham, and we've had reports also of 14 inches at Platte Cove. And by the way, in Platte Cove, 5 inches of snow fell in 2 hours' time. We've had 8 inches of snow over in Wayne County in Pennsylvania. And down in New Jersey, already in the northwest part of the state, in High Point, reports of 10 inches of snow. There's the setup. You can see it's not particularly cold across the northeast. It's 38 in New York City, and rain changes over to snow in the city tonight, and it continues to accumulate as we go through this evening. So we do expect the travel conditions certainly to worsen as the night unfolds. New York City is under a winter storm warning, so that rain will change to snow in many locations, even on the coast. Officially, the marine warnings are still posted. The gale warnings from Fenwick Island south into Tuesday. You notice from Fenwick Island past Long Island Sound up to the coast of Maine, we're looking at storm warnings in effect as we head into Monday night and Tuesday. There's the radar. The big view shows you the intensity of this precipitation coming into southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island. The rain snow line stretches from Boston down through Providence towards Bridgeport, Connecticut. That rain snow line will continue to collapse south towards the coastal communities as we head into this evening. And there's plenty of moderate to heavy rain currently falling over southeast Massachusetts. We could see some local flooding as we go through this afternoon before the change over to rain and snow even as far south and west as northeastern Maryland. So you can tell this is a slow mover because this batch of precipitation in Maryland continues to advance south and west. So I wouldn't be surprised perhaps to see some of that snow working its way back into the north side of Baltimore within the next couple of hours, and we do expect heavy snow totals out of the storm. In fact, anywhere from 12 to as much as 18 inches of snow will occur from the northeast part of Pennsylvania, especially around the Poconos, and then heading northeast to the Catskills, and then continuing in a straight line all the way up into the interior of Massachusetts. We'll continue to provide live coverage. We've got a couple of folks out getting ready to give you additional information later on today and this evening. And there's also another big storm brewing in parts of the west where some big changes have taken place. Dennis, or excuse me, Mike.